Okay, here we go again. And we're going to go up to our new file. And again, I'm looking to see whether this is a metric or in inches. And this looks like a metric, and we're going to be on page 3-36. And it looks like it's a metric file. So I'm going to go down here to my standard millimeter part file and open it up. We're getting pretty good at this, aren't we? Okay, this is a pretty simple one. Again, it looks like somewhat of a candidate for a mirror, and so we're going to start out with this one circle, and I'm going to pick it and put it in the middle here, and I'm going to give it a diameter of 25. Okay, I'm liking this new direct input. It's pretty darn cool. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go that, pick the same center. Oops, where's my circle here? Zoom in here a little bit. Pick that, and my diameter on that one is 15. Oh, that's a radius of 15, which is a diameter of 30. There we go. Then we have a distance down of 25. Okay, so I have some different things I can do. One thing I think it might be easy on this one is I'm going to draw a line from the quadrant to the quadrant, okay, and I'm going to grab these dimensions and just get them out of my way for a second so I don't get confused at what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to grab this line, I'm going to pick that line, I'm going to turn that line into a construction line. I'm going to go to my friend offset, which is right over there, and pick it and drag it down here, okay, escape several times, go into my dimension, pick that point there and come right over here, pick, and I believe the distance on that is 25. Okay. Now I know that I have a point there that my wing is going to come out. So first I'll draw my two lines that I need. So I need a line from there to there, and then I'm going to need a line there to there. Okay. Then I'm going to need a line from here, and it's going to go out here at an angle. Okay. And I'm going to draw, remember I told you we can just sketch things in and then come back and fix, dimension them, and that's what I'm going to do here, okay? And I'm going to hit escape to get out of this, okay? First thing I'm going to do is to my dimension, I'm going to go from here to here and give it the proper angle, and the proper angle is 135, okay? Then, we have a length down here. And it's interesting that it's 60 from this point here. So what I'm going to do is go to offset again, grab this and drag it down here, okay? Escape a couple times, dimension, and I'm going to again go from that point there to here, bring this out here and double click and go 60, okay? And escape a couple times. Notice that even though I offset a construction line, it offset it as a solid, as a geometry line. So that's kind of handy. This is the base of this unit here. So I've got to figure out how I want to do this. And I've got a couple different ways I could do it. I think I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to go line from this point here, and I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to try and get my perpendicular. Okay? I think that's good. Escape, and then I have a width of that leg is 12.5, so I'm going to do a little trim in here. So I'm going to go to my trim command, and I'm going to trim this and this and this, okay? Escape, dimension, I'm going to see if I can dimension, it's not going, now notice that it will only pull in ortho, okay? It's only pulling in ortho. So how do I dimension that? I right click and I go aligned. There you go. New nugget. Okay, and double click on that, and 12.5. Hopefully it's going to go, when it pulls, it'll pull the right way. Oh, and my point thing isn't working again, so I'm going to go in here and highlight that and go 12.5. Wish I knew what was going on with my keyboard. And as you can see, I need to come down here, okay? So I probably should have drawn something down here first. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just stretch, see if I can stretch this line here. And I cannot do that. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it where it's at. Oop, you can see what happens. I'm going to do undo. Okay, and I'm going to pick my line here, and I'm going to go on to the end of it and just drag it out here. Okay, now I'm going to just throw that away. I'm going to extend this line. Okay, curve being extended, trimmed. Okay, well, I'm not doing a curve, guys. So I'm going to take this away for a second, and I'm going to try and extend this. There it goes. Excellent. Okay, and then I'm going to go here, and notice it gives me a perpendicular. Okay, escape, and I'm going to go to extend, and I'm going to pick that. There we go. And I'm going to maintain my dimensions down here. Right click, aligned, and I want to go up. You can see where I didn't pick the point that I wanted when I went down here to the line. There we go. There she is. Okay, and dimension. Right click, aligned, and I want it's off a little bit. I'm going to make it 12.5. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in here. I want to make sure that corner is okay. Yeah, that looks like it's good. And looks like that corner there is okay. And it looks like something's off with my angle here. And I'm going to redimension this thing. I'm going to pick that and delete it. Okay, and let's try a redimension here. And there is 135. Okay, and I think we're okay. Hope so anyway. Okay, this line here, I'm going to create that and make that a construction line just so I can keep it. Then I'm going to grab these parts here, and I'm going to, oh, what do I need? I need a mirror line. So I'm going to have to draw a line from here down. And I can just draw I just need it to be a straight line. Escape. I'm going to make it a construction line. So I pick the line first and then go to construction, which makes it a piece of geometry, but it's not part of my object. Okay. And it looks like when I did that, I made a whole bunch of stuff construction lines. So I'm going to back up here. Okay. And okay, there we go. Escape. Pick that line and go to construction. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this geometry, okay, and I'm going to go to mirror. Bum, 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 bum. Where's my mirror? Where's my mirror? Right there. And I'm going to go to the mirror line, pick right there, and go to apply, and done. Okay, now notice that this is a little wide in here, and there is something definitely wrong with what I got going on here. Okay. This is all too big. This is all too big. So I bet this is 12.5. Now look how easy that is to fix. Ah, that looks a little bit better. 25. And it's these lines that I don't need. I'm going to extend these. I'm going to put these up here to there. Okay. And then what it is I have a line that's 12.5. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go offset, pick my construction line, and go half of that distance. So the distance when I dimension it will be 6.25, okay, and okay. And then I'm going to extend this line down, okay, and then I'm going to draw a line from here over to where it touches there. Escape. I'm going to go to trim, okay, going to pick this line and put that as a construction line just so I have that point. And I really don't need that line anymore. I can throw that line away if I want to. Okay, I can throw that away. I do want a dimension here though, so I'm going to pull a dimension down, and that is 12.5. And that does look like my object. It still doesn't. I don't know what is going on here. My legs look awful fat here for the size of this circle up here. Okay, it just doesn't look right to me. So let's try changing this again. Okay, let's try changing that to 30. And let's try changing that to 25. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm going to need a center line I can see here. And here's how you fix this. So I'm going to bring my center line down, drop it down, escape, pick the line. I'm going to make it a construction line. Now watch this little trick. Go to dimension, pick this line, and then pick this line here. Okay. And if I do half the amount, which would be half of 12.5 would be, and I might have 6.25 still in there. Right there. See? I did this little drop down arrow right here. Let me show you that again. So I'm going to pick here. I'm going to pick this right here. And because I've entered that recently, it's still there. I can pick it and okay. Now, that's not working for me. So what I need to do is I need to assign a constraint to it. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to my parallel constraint and I'm going to go parallel to here. There we go. Hooray! This is finally looking like the drawing. Okay, so you know, it's kind of interesting doing this. I have another line down here I can delete. I don't need that anymore. Okay, I do want that dimension though, so I am going to go from my center point here to this leg, and it should be 60. Okay, I'm happy. So you see how I defined these using this center line. Okay, I do believe that's everything we need to do, except we need to trim this. So we're going to trim this outside ring there. Okay, and we're going to go File, Save As, and it says I can't do it while it's in the sketch mode, so I'm going to go OK. So it's now put it into the extrude mode, and it allows me to save it. So this is going to be week 3, tutorial 4. Week 3, tutorial 4. Okay, and I'm going to go save. Okay, I'm going to extrude it while I'm here. And looks like it's extruded maybe 20. Okay, that looks pretty close to what we have. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. And I'm back. And now we're going to go ahead and do what we normally do here. We're going to go File, Open. We're going to go find my metric block. Again, I'm going to make a DWG. You should be making an IDW, but I'm going to make a DWG because I need to make a file for you folks. I'm going to go Open. Okay, there she is. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to go to my DWGs, week 3. And tutorial 3.3, which looks like I already got one in here. You can, okay. I'm just going to give it a different name here so it doesn't screw up what I've got there. Okay. And I'm going to go right here. I'm going to drop down Doug's border, right click, edit definitions, right click. Okay, edit the text, and this is going to be tutorial 3-4. Okay, and right click and save title block, and yes. Okay, great. And everything else looks looking pretty darn good on there, okay? Now it's time to import, okay? Bring my base in here and, okay. So what I got going on here is it's too small, so I'm just gonna pick this, right click, and go delete. And do you want to delete the view? Yes. So I'm going to try this again. Bring it in. I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to scale it up now. 2 looks good. I'm going to pick, 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 right click, and create. Okay? Right click, edit view, click the shaded, and I'm good. Slide this over a little bit. Slide this whole thing over a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm looking good there. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and dimension it, and I'll be done. So you'll have this one in your file also.